Hi, so this is a postnatal glute workout using some of my favourite glute exercises. As long as you've been signed off by your doctor to exercise, these should be fine for you. But if anything's uncomfortable, make sure that you take a break or slightly back away from that exercise. So we're going to start by lying down on our backs. Now I just recommend that whenever you lie down at the moment, especially if you're really early postnatal, use your hands just to help you guide yourself down so you're not overusing your abdominals too much. We're going to have our feet hip distance apart, arms down by the side of the body with the palms facing the floor. Now just take a moment to double check that your feet, your knees and your hips are all lined up. If it's easier, you could start with your feet together, walk the heels out and then the toes out, and just make sure your knees are the same distance apart. Then down to your pelvis. So I want you to find a neutral pelvis. This is where the hip bones and the pubic bone are all lined up. So if I put a cup of tea right on my pubic bone, the cup of tea would lie nice and flat. I wouldn't be tipping it on my tummy. Find that neutral position, relax the arms by the side of the body and start to think about the breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Now we're going to do a couple more big deep Pilates breaths here, in through the nose, breathing into the ribs, and as you exhale, breathe out through the mouth. One more. And then we're going to match the breath to the movement. So on your next exhale, I want you to gently imprint. So bring the ribs and hips closer together, flattening your lower back into the mat. Start to push through the heels and start to peel the spine away from the mat, lifting the hips up into the air until you're a nice diagonal line from shoulders to knees. Inhale to hold it here. And as you exhale from the top of your spine, start peeling your way back down a vertebrae at a time through that imprint and releasing back to neutral. We're in neutral, we're going to breathe in to prepare. And as you exhale again, start by tucking that tailbone under, rolling up through the spine a vertebrae at a time. Inhale to hold at the top. And exhale, start to peel your way back down again, really drawing your ribs in through that lower back and releasing back to neutral. And we're going to do a few more. So inhale, prepare, exhale to move. Drive down through the heels. That's going to really help engage the glutes. And this is a glute exercise. So really do try to focus on the pushing up of the hips from the gluteal fold, which is the crease underneath the bum cheek. Just double check every now and again on those knees. Watch that at the top they're not starting to splay apart or collapse in. And at the top, I always just double check my ribs haven't popped. So make sure you've still got that gentle abdominal engagement and we're not at the top kind of hanging out and feeling it in our lower back. Two more like this, drawing through the heels, squeezing the bum cheeks together at the top and rolling down. This is a really nice movement if you've been suffering with any lower back pain as well, or if you had a particularly big bump in pregnancy and you felt like your lower back was really tight. Last one, all the way down and relax. Just gently hug your knees in towards your chest and rock yourself side to side. Now slowly roll over onto your right hand side for clams. So I'm lying on my right hand side. For this, you can either have your head resting on a pillow or you can extend your right arm along the floor and rest your head on your shoulder. My knees are bent, my feet, knees, hips are all stacked, and when I look down, my heels are directly underneath my tailbone. Just take a moment to check that you're not sinking your ribs into the floor. So try to think about your obliques engaging and a bit of a lift through the right hand side of the waist. On your next exhale, keep the heels together, but lift your left knee up towards the ceiling and inhale, control the release back down. And same again, exhaling as you lift that left knee and inhaling as you release. So what I'm doing here is I'm rotating my leg in the hip socket, using my glutes. Really dig your finger into the side of your bum as well and you might just feel the glutes working. Sometimes a tactile cue can really help engage the correct muscles. If you want more of a challenge, you could always hover the feet up off the ground, keeping them nice and still, and continue with your clams. But just double check it doesn't cause you to sag down and bend into the mat. Three more like this. Exhaling as you lift. Trying to get as much range of movement as you can without the hips moving. And on the last one, we're going to lift, we're going to hold that one there and stay for 3, 2, 1, and relax. Give your bum a quick rub. Now we're going to come onto 4-point kneeling. So carefully coming over onto hands and knees, we're going to keep working this left glute. So wrists are underneath my shoulders, knees are underneath my hips. Spread your fingers wide and just gently rock backwards and forwards until you feel like you have equal pressure through your hands and your knees. So you're not overloading those wrists. Take a moment here to find your neutral pelvis again. So we're thinking about hip bones and pubic bone all being on the same level. I'm going to engage my pelvic floor and gently draw up through my abdominals. And if you hear any gurgling and cooing, it's not me, it's Freya, my baby, in the background. We're going to take that left leg, shift the weight to the right leg, and with the left leg, open the leg out to the side of the room and slowly lower it back towards the floor, but don't put it down. And again, exhale, we're going to take that left leg out to the side, and inhale, control the release back down. This is called fire hydrant, and what I want you to imagine, although it's a bit weird, is you're a dog and you're cocking your leg to wee against a fire hydrant. Try not to lean to the right too much. Make this a little bit unstable, and you will use your core a little bit more. Again, there's gentle activation of your pelvic floor and your transverse, so you're thinking about belly button gently coming towards the spine. 3 more like this. Keeping that bend at the knee. 2. And on the last one, take the leg out. We're going to hold it there for 3, 2, 1, and release. Just take a moment to give your wrists a bit of a rotate, because we're going to be in the same position here for the next exercise. Bend your wrists gently back on themselves if you need to. Set yourself back up. So neutral shoulders, neutral pelvis, pelvic floor, and transverse all engaged. From here with that left leg again, we're going to exhale. This time lift the leg towards the ceiling. Inhale, lower it back down. Keep the bend at the knee, and that helps to keep the hamstring active, but it also encourages your glute to do the work. So right now it's my left glute that is lifting the knee up into the air. Make sure you're not going so high that you're dumping in your lower back like so. We want to keep that neutral pelvis. And so your range of movement might be a little bit less than this, it might be more. It depends how tight you are through the hip flexors, how strong you are through your glutes. Let's do 1 more. We're going to lift, we're going to hold it there for 3, pelvic floor, 2, 1, and relax. Let's just take a quick child's pose. Have a quick breather. Give your glute a quick rest before you slowly roll up. Now we've got 1 more glute exercise for that left glute before we can then move on to the other leg. Come up to standing with your feet hip distance apart, and I want you to sit down into a squat position. Make sure you're still in neutral again. So just think about that nice lower back, that slight arch in it, and the pelvis really, really level. We're going to shift the weight onto the left leg, hands in prayer. Now with your right leg, I want you to take it out behind you, tap the floor. Bring it in, take it out to the right, tap the floor. Bring it in, take it out behind you, tap the floor. Bring it in, take it out to the right, tap the floor. Now as I do this, my weight is in my left heel, and when I press into my left heel, it activates my left glute. So we're still working on that left side. Keep an eye on the shoulders, make sure they're nice and neutral. And keep an eye on that left knee because it's going to want to wobble. 3 more. 2, do your last one, bring it back in and hold, and then relax. Give that leg a quick shake, and then let's do everything on the right glute now. So coming down onto the floor, going into clam. You want to lie on your left hand side this time, so you can use a pillow or rest your head on your shoulder. My feet are stacked, knees are stacked, hips are stacked, and my right hand is on my hip. As I exhale, I lift the right knee towards the ceiling, and inhale, control the release back down. So you know what you're doing, you did it on the other leg. So any adaptations you made on the other side, do this side. So if you want to lift the feet to hover up off the floor to make this harder, then please do. Remember to keep an eye on your waist, don't allow it to sag into the floor. If you do, what you're actually really doing is bending your spine to the side. So you really want to think about keeping a nice straight neutral spine. We're going to do 3 more. Again, you can always use a tactile cue by pressing your fingers into the side of your bum. 2 more. And on the last one, we're going to lift and we're going to hold it there. 3, 2, 1, and then relax. Give your bum a quick rub. Now, if you're hearing another noise, that is not the baby, that's the dog. Don't work with children or dogs, basically. So you're into 4-point kneeling now. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Take a moment again to just rock backwards and forwards, find your neutral. Engage your pelvic floor and your transverse. And we've got fire hydrant. Keep your right knee bent, and we're going to take the right leg out to the side of the room. And inhale, slowly lower it back down again. Exhale as you lift, and inhale as you lower. So we're not leaning to the left. Try and keep your hips as level as you can. Try not to put all your weight through your hands. And keep that gentle activation through the core. Exhale to lift. 3 more like this. Good, last 2. Double check the shoulders haven't started to creep up to the ears. You don't want to wear them like earrings. Last one, lift and hold it. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Again, give your wrists a quick twist. Give them a quick shake out. Reset yourself. Neutral pelvis, abdominals engaged. And we kick the right leg slowly up to the ceiling. Exhale, lift. Inhale to release. And exhale. So the bend at the right knee stays the same throughout. So you've got your hamstring engaged. You're using your glute to lift the leg up into the air. And again, don't go too high because otherwise this happens. You start to dump all the effort into that lower back. 3 more like this. If you're feeling it through your wrists, you can always shift your weight back slightly over that left knee. Last one, we're going to lift. We're going to hold it there for 3, 2, 1, and child's pose. Just gently sit back, have a quick breather, really give your wrists a break as well, before we slowly come up for scooter on that right side. So again, feet are hip distance apart. I'm in a squat position and my weight is in the back half of my foot. Hands into prayer position, and we're going to start to take our weight over to our right foot this time. So the weight is in the right heel. Take your left leg, extend it out behind you, bring it in, take it out to the left, bring it back in, extend it out behind you, bring it back in, take it out to the side, and bring it back in. And for an extra challenge on your balance, you could always add a dog into the mix. Hands in prayer, reach your leg out. So all of my weight is in the heel of my right foot. I've got a nice neutral spine, shoulders are relaxed. 3 more, last 2. Finish the last one, bring it in and hold, sit down a bit lower for 3, 2, 1, and relax. And you should have felt that in your right glute. Now coming down onto the mat, let's just have a quick glute stretch to finish off. So lie down. We're going to start by taking our left ankle over our right knee and just be mindful of your abdominals. Carefully, if you want a deeper stretch, bring the knee towards the chest. If lifting the leg up off the floor causes your abdominals to dome or causes your back to hurt, by all means leave that down and just gently hug your knee in. Okay, so remember, lifting legs up into the air is quite a challenge, quite a load for the abdominals. So if you're very early postnatal, keep the foot on the floor. Otherwise, again, you can always hug that knee in. 3, 2, and let's gently swap over. Right ankle over your left knee. Again, you can stay here and hug it in, or if it's safe for you to do so, you can hug the leg up in towards the chest. Breathing into it here. Now, this is just a really quick glute stretch for you, but by all means, spend some extra time at the end of this workout stretching out those glutes if you have the time. 3, 2, and gently release. Put your hands behind your leg and pull yourself up to seated. And that's the end of your glute workout. Hopefully you felt it in the right place. When you're postnatal, the glutes can be a little bit weak, so you might find that it takes a while for them just to warm back up again. And if you want more videos like this, and you're watching this on YouTube, remember to subscribe below. And I hope you enjoyed it.